Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, This is Real and Totally Not a Joke edition.
Oh my God. Story of my Wednesday, Story of my Tuesday. Story of my Monday.
Story of my life. This is real and not a joke.
Yeah. It's true. And I can't believe it.
I am Jill Chacha, and I am with, in complete disbelief, Marissa Riley.
Yeah, I don't know. How did we get here? How did I wake up this morning? How did we do it? I don't know.
So, this is episode 041. Did you hear about the monkeys living next to a Florida airport?
This is the most amazing title I've ever heard. No, I did not hear. I'm pretending like you asked me that like a question. No, I did not hear about these monkeys. And I'm mad. Yeah. Someone forgot to tell me. Some news source forgot to tell me.
About the monkeys next to a Florida airport.
Yeah. And Instagram forgot to tell me. You dicks. I'm kidding.
Well, better late than never, I guess, this episode 041. And honestly, the funny thing is, I'm not even looking for Florida stories.
They just keep happening to you?
Florida stories just are thrust upon me as I research topics to talk about for this show. And this one, man, I just could not pass it up. I just can't.
How could you?
Yeah, it's a little different from the other Florida stories we've covered, like the episodes on dog-sized lizards.
Amazing.
Those cat food eating peacocks.
How could we forget?
Do you remember?
Yes.
We also covered just a few days ago the largest freshwater fish, the arapaima. Do you remember that?
Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah, the arapaima being bred on a not-so-secret farm in Florida. So that was revealed. Anyway, those species have a potential to just wreak fucking absolute havoc on Florida's ecosystem and spread to neighboring states. So today we're going to talk about a group of monkeys minding their own fucking business on a little patch of paradise in the Sunshine State. And we just found out for certain where they came from and fucking why they're here.
I'm pumped. I love it when we get the who, what, where, when, and why.
That's right.
When it comes to monkeys. I need every question answered when it comes to monkeys.
Okay, make sure I answer all of them.
Oh,
okay?
I will.
Right, good. So, Dr. Marissa, I would like to begin by showing you a video.
Yes.
It was uploaded. It was uploaded to America's truly greatest threat, Facebook.
Oh, no.
Back in 2018 by a company called the Mega Agency. Ugh. Anyway, that doesn't matter. If you would be so kind to tell us what you see, who you see, and how everyone is just acting in the video.
Nothing would make me happier. Please show me the video now.
Okay, so playing it, what do you see?
Okay, I see a monkey. It's sitting atop a car. It looks like a Nissan. A white Nissan. It's eating something, and a man is casually opening the trunk of the car. Looks like he is putting some luggage in it. And holy moly, there's a bunch of monkeys in the forest next to the car. No one seems to care.
No.
The man doesn't care. His friend, who's also a man, doesn't care. Gazillions of monkeys. It's like the zoo, but more. Just hanging out, running around these trees next to this parking lot.
Yep.
No one's talking about it.
No.
No one is taking pictures with their phones. No one is TikToking this. What the hell? What the hell, Jill?
Excellent questions. Excellent question. Let me pull up my notes. So, like you said, honestly, the only signs we were in Florida were the license plate of the cars, right?
The license plate and the fact that the men who were putting the luggage in their car, not looking at the monkeys at all or acknowledging them. They looked like they had just gotten off of their golf mission. I don't know what it's called. Their golf game.
Yes.
They just left it.
Definitely 60, 70-year-old plus individuals wearing T-shirts, knee-highs, and khakis.
Yes, and an important thing to note is they were wearing polos that were tucked into their khakis.
Yes,
I hope
with
that,
a belt.
Yeah, with a belt. I hope that completes the picture. Anyways, you were going to say something.
Yeah. I mean, excellent analysis of the video. And yes, those were monkeys in a fucking parking lot. But let's get more specific.
Yes.
Where are we exactly? My friends, may I welcome you to the 4.5-star rated Park and Go, a family-owned and operated parking business just east of Fort Lauderdale International Airport.
Okay.
Which itself is located at the very southern tip of this glorious state.
Follow-up question. Is that 4.5 stars out of 5 stars?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I just had to know. I had to clarify. Okay, continue.
Yes. Now, this Park and Go is very special to humans for a number of reasons. It's open 24 hours. It's reasonably priced. You can book a parking spot online.
Oh, that's so cool.
The ticket booth where you pay is painted banana yellow and is surrounded by palm trees. It's all very charming.
Nice.
But this Park and Go is special to our monkey friends for very different reasons. Okay. Now, it's imagination time, okay?
I'm here for it.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
So we're going to create a mental map. So please close your eyes, especially if you're doing something potentially dangerous or important while listening. Now, at the center of our Google map is the Park and Go parking lot.
All right.
Right in the center. Now, to the left, of course, is the Fort Lauderdale International Airport.
There we go.
And it's nearly 1,400 acres of terminals and tarmac, okay?
Okay.
Below us, just south, is a knot of highways and roads like Port Everglades Expressway. To our right is the Florida coastline and Dania Beach.
Nice.
Yes,
and beach.
Exactly. And farther to our north is another ocean, a concrete ocean called Florida Power and Light Company, essentially a vast power plant.
Sounds awful.
Yes. Now, Dr. Marissa, remember in the video that we just played, there was, of course, a car and a monkey on it, blah, blah, blah. But as we panned away, there was a chain link fence.
Yes.
And behind it, there were like a shit ton of trees.
It looked like a picture from like the fucking Amazon rainforest or whatever.
Yeah.
It looked like a chain link fence and then the biggest jungle you've ever seen. Right. So, yeah, it looks like a fucking jungle, man.
Yeah. So between the Park and Go and that power plant is a wild forest about the size of the airport itself. It's about 1,500 acres.
Oh, my.
That's right. So carve yourself out a 1,500-acre, bright green, beautiful mangrove forest, and this is where 36 monkeys have chosen to call home. And the location is a smart one if you think about it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
36 specifically?
Yes.
We know that number.
We sure do.
For sure.
We do. That's right.
What?
That's right.
Jill, what?
That's right. We're
By
going
a parking lot?
By a parking lot. Between all of this stuff.
God.
Right.
Who let this happen? I don't blame the monkeys. Someone let this happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. What a story.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Get into it.
That's right.
Get into it, Jill. Tell me everything.
Okay, so this little 1,500 acre of this little plot of land, it's literally in no man's land. It's like its own tropical island between a highway, an airport, a real ocean, and a fucking concrete ocean. It's like their little safe haven, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and the only interactions with people are with local employees, locals who travel, and tourists who make the occasional delicious mistake.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh.
So, Dr. Marissa, if you would please read from local news affiliates ABC4 and Local 10 about our monkeys and their charming behavior.
Nothing would make me happier. All right, here we go. Dave Winquist, the manager at Park and Go, said, and I quote, "They are pretty much always looking for food." Same. Once they eat, they run. Bananas, peanuts, they'll even eat packets of grape jelly if they can get their hands on it. They are all very nice. I have never had a problem with any of them. End quote. Tony Selimar, who works near the sanctuary, has also gotten used to the monkeys and has learned what not to do around them. And I quote, if you leave your car window open and there is something in there, they will climb in your car and go for it. If there is food or chips or something like that. End quote. Selimar said.
There you go.
So these monkeys are relatable.
Oh, and completely.
I relate to them.
Yeah, they just want to live in a tropical paradise and eat all day. What the fuck?
That sounds amazing. I also eat jelly all day.
That's right. She loves toast, folks.
I have so much jelly all the time. It's the kitchen is coated with jelly, and I love these monkeys.
Yeah, highly, highly relatable. Also very adorable.
I also love that they're nice. That they're nice about the food.
They're very nice.
That's something I can't relate to. Sometimes when I need food, I am not nice.
They're never hangry, that's probably the most unusual thing about them.
They stay on top of it.
Yeah. So the most harm these monkeys have done is some minor breaking and entering for food. There have been no documented cases of aggression against any person. And fun fact, these monkeys don't carry herpes.
What?
Which could be transmitted by their saliva, urine, or feces.
Is this normal? Do a lot of monkeys have herpes?
Everyone does.
Oh, okay.
So how do we know this intimate fact? Well, enter Deborah Missy Williams, PhD, a biologist at Florida Atlantic University, or FAU. When she heard about these monkeys about 7 years ago, they were basically local legend. No one had taken the time to do an in-depth study to even confirm what species of monkey they are.
Oh.
Yeah. All locals knew is that one day, like way fucking back in 1948, over 70 years ago, a population of monkeys with gray-blue faces and greenish-brown hair just showed up. And in true Florida fashion, people just rolled with it.
I love this. Also, I have a similar story. I've never fully confirmed this or Googled it. But at an age where you just believe everything your dad says, I think around 6 or 7,
That's right.
my dad told me that my grandparents who lived in Beaumont, Texas, a small town in East Texas, he said that there were monkeys in the forest next to their house.
It could totally be true, though.
And I've heard it from multiple people.
Yeah.
And I used to think they were telling me that just to like fuck around with me, but I think it's true. And I think someone put them there.
Totally.
Because I kept hearing more and more details that I'm like, they didn't make this up.
The monkeys of Beaumont.
The monkeys of Beaumont, Texas. If you have heard of them, please write to wellthatsinterestingpod@gmail.com. I would love to hear a firsthand.
Holy shit, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing if everyone wrote in about it and happened to know or had their parents. If your parent has lied to you about monkeys, wellthatsinterestingpod@gmail.com. DM us, whatever. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, we definitely want to know your monkey stories.
Yeah.
Just flood us. Flood us with your monkey stories.
Please do. But back to our monkey story, which is real.
Okay.
And I love it so far.
So Missy wanted answers, all right? So in 2014, she began a quest, not only to make sure these monkeys remain safe, but, quote, determine the introduction history, species identification, and geographic origins of the monkeys, end quote, as stated in her study, finally published this month.
Amazing.
Yes, it wasn't until this year we finally have answers. And how it all began, Missy and her fellow primatologists at FAU rigged hidden cameras throughout the mangroves to start unlocking the mystery.
Oh my God, I would do anything to watch those.
So, with a hell of a lot of patience, every single monkey was documented and given their own name and file. That's right.
I love that.
I know.
Sorry, I just had, I could only gasp.
She gasped and grabbed her chest. It was adorable.
I grabbed my pearls.
So, as of 2021, there are 36 in total, making up 4 troops. In the video we saw uploaded back in 2018, that was one troop made up of 2 senior males called Mikey and Spike,
Amazing.
6 females, a number of juvenile monkeys, and infants.
Infants?
I know, babies.
Okay.
So, Dr. Marissa, with all of this photographic evidence, would you please tell us what species the researchers believed these monkeys belonged to?
Oh my gosh, of course. All right, quote, our monkeys in Dania?
You got it.
Dania, nailed it. Beach, have a golden have a golden tipped tail and greenish brown hair, lack a pronounced brow band around the face, and males have a pale blue scrotum. It's a fun phrase to say. Pale blue scrotum, said Deborah Missy Williams, PhD, lead author of the Biological Sciences Department in FAU's Charles E. Schmidt College of Science. Quote, these phenotypic traits are characteristics of Chlorocebus sebaeus.
Fucking
End quote.
nailed it. You nailed it.
That was a lot of words.
Yes.
I feel like I had the hardest time with the most normal words.
Yes.
Like the word golden was hard and green was hard. Marissa, what's going on in there?
You know, you just fucking nailed Chlorocebus sebaeus. Unbelievable. I'm so proud.
Unbelievable.
So-
Tell us more about that, Jill.
Yes. So that quote was from the Forbes article, Decades-Long Mystery of Monkeys Living at Fort Lauderdale Airport Now Solved. But what the fuck is Chlorocebus sebaeus?
Seriously.
Or C. sebaeus. So, to these researchers, these monkeys were the spitting image of a type of vervet, better known as green monkeys, whose habitat covers an enormous section of West Africa.
What the fuck?
That's right.
What's the fuck? How did they get here?
Yep. That's a great question.
Oh my
hold
God.
on to that question.
Okay.
With both hands.
Putting
hold on to it. Yes. Now, they're native to at least 9 countries in that round landmass that kind of sticks out on the left of Africa. Remember?
Yes.
Now, we actually brought that up in our last in-betweenie.
We did, Molly.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just matching pictures of African green monkeys to Florida monkeys, though, isn't quite enough for confirmation. So enter DNA samples.
That's right, because we're scientists.
Yes.
Not me.
No.
Missy is.
We're just doctors. We just say doctor on the show.
We're both using quotes with our fingers right now.
So let's get specific. Historical archives and local folklore suggested that the monkeys were caught. Now I'm fucking up. Okay, let's try that again.
Actually, I think it was your British accent, or your Brooklyn accent coming up.
Caught. Yes. Okay. Delete. Historical archives and local folklore suggested that the monkeys were caught in Sierra Leone, which is one country on that curved coastline in Africa. Put a pin in this. We'll get back to how they got all this information. But anyway, with this information, everything from the way that they look and the folklore, Missy and the gang decided to compare DNA from monkeys in that area of West Africa to our Florida monkeys. They used 3 genetic markers, okay? One mitochondrial DNA gene, and that's passed along only by females.
Good to know.
And 2 fragments from a Y chromosome. Now, we're going to say some fancy-ass words right now, but I want you to stick with me. Okay? Now, basically, the photos and the folklore didn't lie. According to the study, the Florida residents are, quote, a complete match to a C. sebaeus sample from Senegal, which happens to be a country just north of Sierra Leone.
Yes.
Continuing with the quote, phylogenetic analysis showed strong support for the Dania Beach mitochondrial and Y chromosome lineages to group within a monophyletic C. sebaeus clade endemic to West Africa, end quote.
Jill, well done. That was like a sentence of the hardest to pronounce words that neither of us have ever seen before.
I'm sweating.
And let me just dab her off.
I'm sweating so hard.
Just dabbing off the sweat. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'm very warm. In sum, their physical characteristics and their genes match up.
Amazing.
The Florida Park and Go monkeys are descendants of green monkeys in West Africa. It's confirmed. There you go.
And if it's confirmed, that means someone brought them.
That's right.
Or something.
That's right.
I think it's someone.
Exactly. How the fuck did they get to Florida 70 years ago? Well, after the break, we're going to answer that in true Florida fashion.
Fuck yeah, I'm pumped.
And part of the answer traces back to not one, but two presidents of the United States.
Why? Why?
Oh, please, stay tuned.
Please do.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're two scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
That is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat Earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
Hello everyone, Stakuyi here.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the hosts of History of Everything, a podcast which you can probably guess by the name is, well, I mean, it's about everything. Do you want to know why people thought potatoes were evil and would give you syphilis? Are you curious about all the stories of the terrible and stupid ways that people have kicked the bucket over the years? Do you want to hear tales about all of the different badasses of history and the lives that they had brought to life? Well, if so, then look no further. History of Everything is just the right podcast for you. It's available on Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. Join us for some fun and just see how weird and wacky history can be.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back.
We're so back.
We're so back, and we're road tripping through southern Florida in the early 1950s.
Good times.
Kind of. To me, it kind of sounds like we're going to be looking at, listening to, and learning about some problematic racist shit with a side of possible animal abuse in America. So I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I think that's what we're in for.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, we have to travel down this road for a little bit to uncover the history of our Florida green monkeys. But don't worry, it ends well.
Okay.
I promise.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the photograph. Dr. Marissa, it's 1949, and we just pulled up to a brand new roadside attraction called the Dania Chimpanzee Farm.
Oh, dear.
Not gonna lie. It does look charming and very Americana. It's the kind of shit people travel cross-country to see, like get out of their cars and take photos of shit. Now, Dr. Marissa, would you please describe the appearance of the Dania Chimpanzee Farm?
Of course. I would love to. So basically it's this beautiful old photograph.
Yeah.
Kind of faded because it was taken with film, which is making my heart swell. And it's a lot of palm trees and an old car, you know, from around that time.
Around that time.
The 50s, but probably more like 49. And it's an old car parked outside of this sort of little hut that says Chimpanzee Farm in big old letters, and it says apes and monkeys, and it's got the little sort of like string decoration with the little
Like
flags
grand
on
opening
flag stuff. And then in front of it, the most important thing I'm looking at here is like a 40-foot tall, like at least 2-story tall Monkey. It's not a real monkey, obviously. We'd be talking about that a lot more. But it's like a big monkey statue.
Yes.
And it looks like it's, from here it looks like it's made out of paper mache. That's not true. But it's made out of some sort of wood, papery material.
Highly flammable, very attractive.
Oh, the fact that you brought up that it's flammable is making me sweat. But yeah, this is a beautiful picture with alarming context.
Yes, beautiful palm trees. And if you look right at the very center, and of course all of our photos and even more photos will be on our Instagram, Well That's Interesting Pod, and Twitter at WTI_pod. If you look right at the very center, there's like a little family taking a photo next to this gigantic paper mache ape.
It's absolutely precious. I'm wanting to do the thing where you zoom in on your phone, but I can't because I'm looking at a computer. I don't know why I felt like telling you that. But yeah, it's the most freaking adorable picture, and it's stressing me out.
Yeah, I mean, there's alarming things for 2021. Not only did the chimpanzee farm showcase chimps, like it says, there were great apes, and you guessed it, monkeys. Yeah. But believe it or not, well, actually, it's totally believable. The real trend at the time was alligator wrestling.
What?
Yes.
What?
I know.
I did not.
I know.
I should. You know what? I'm gonna say I didn't expect it, but I should have expected it. We are in Florida in mid-century.
There you go.
Yeah.
Even with a 50-foot paper mache ape standing outside your door with bipedal exotic creatures inside, you still had to have a show, like an entertaining main attraction, if you will. Mm. Enter Peter Karsner.
Okay.
Now, he was a mere teenage high school boy in 1949, but this is Florida and America, so his job was both a guide and alligator wrestler.
Oh my God.
Yes. Hand in face. There he goes, folks.
Oh
there
God.
she is.
Okay, tell me more. Okay. Yes, I'm fine.
Now, for Missy, his story was key into determining the origins of these monkeys. Now, Peter first wrote down his experience for a website called florida-backroads-travel.com.
I am going to this website immediately after we finish recording. This sounds like the most interesting website in the world.
How could you not go?
Yeah.
And I thought we could take turns reading his own words. Okay. Again, these are his own words. They were back in 2012, and he was 77 at the time. Okay, so exactly. A lot of breathing in. Yeah. And to be clear, the Seminole people he brings up are the indigenous of northern Florida, and they're of Creek origin. Anyway.
Thank you for clarifying.
So, from his essay, here we go. Quote, "To attract the Everglades tour boats to dock at the compound, an alligator wrestling pit was built along with a replica of the Seminole village. A family of Seminole Indians would drive in from the reservation west of Dania and sit on the chickies and sell Indian souvenirs to the boat tourists." Dr. Marissa, if you would continue.
I will. A chickie is a platform the Florida Indians lived on before they moved to standard housing. When I would wrestle, the hawker would tell the tourists I was the only white boy raised in the Seminoles and didn't speak English. The tips were great then, and today the stories make for fun cocktail party chatter. Now I've reached age 77 and still have all my digits. I'm content to grunt a gator up to the boat to entertain my guests here with the Willacoochee River. End of my portion.
That's right. His guests on the Withlacoochee River. That's right.
Withlacoochee River. There are a lot of jokes I could make right now, but I will make them later when we're not recording.
So that was day-to-day on the farm. Now, Florida wouldn't be Florida. I know that's a lot to deal with. I'm sorry, but...
Yep.
No, Florida still wouldn't be Florida if there wasn't that je ne sais quoi, a little something extra special about this place. Now, the Dania Chimpanzee Farm was the name the public saw. And, I mean, the signage behind the massive statue said it all, right? But in Peter's essay, he brought up a few interesting facts. The farm was also known as the Arthropod Ape Research Foundation.
Oh.
Quote, where the main function was the extraction of blood from the adult chimps for medical research.
What?
End quote. Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's a shocked face.
I'm scratching my head. I need more details.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
So, according to the Florida Atlantic University and Forbes magazine, the farm, air quotes, imported primates from West Africa in hopes of furthering development of a polio vaccine, which meant everything from selling that blood to selling the primates themselves to research labs studying polio, including tuberculosis and other conditions, whatever the fuck.
Wow. So they would use the blood from the monkeys to...
Supposedly, yeah. Further polio, but I saw no evidence, and there's no polio vaccine was ever credited to this. Basically taking primates from West Africa.
Oh my God.
and selling them to labs. So,
This is wild. This is wild.
do you want to get a little bit crazier?
Yeah, take me there. Take me there, Jill.
So, who could possibly exploit Africa, the indigenous, and animals at the same time? If you said a wealthy white couple, you're right. Uh-huh.
Oh,
So,
dear.
the Farm slash Research Foundation was the brainchild of Armand Dennis, born in Belgium in 1896. And like most white guys from Belgium at this time, King Leopold, he was obsessed with the nations of Africa and Asia. Though Armand took a cinematic route, not a genocidal route like his king.
I see.
Yeah, so he became a filmmaker in the 1920s, and he worked up until the mid-1950s, directing movies with titles like Wild Cargo, Magie Africaine, Dangerous Journey, and Among the Headhunters. And
Got it. I see what he's going... No, I can't say I see what he's going for. But
Yeah.
I see what he is trying to do. There's really no right response to this.
no, I have not seen any of these, and I'm guessing they didn't age well.
Yeah.
is what I'm going with. Now,
Yeah.
while shooting a film originally called Guna Guna, a Javanese term for love magic,
Okay.
yeah, he met Andre Roosevelt, a relative of, you guessed it, Teddy Roosevelt and Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
We got the Roosevelts.
We got the Roosevelt
in the
family.
story. Yes.
Now, Armand was introduced to Andre's daughter, Layla Roosevelt,
Oh.
and they quickly bonded over their love of all things, like air quotes, wild, and they married.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got this Belgian dude and the, offspring or basically relatives of the Roosevelt family. They're together. And I don't know how or why they chose the Dania Beach area for this zoo ape importation gig, but in 1948, they opened their doors.
Got it.
It's totally confusing, I know.
Sorry, I'm like furrowing my brow because I'm trying to absorb like the presidents and the racism and the this and that. It's many, many pieces of many, many things.
Yeah.
That is going to somehow end up as a lot of monkeys next to the airport.
Exactly.
Wild.
That's
This is wild.
It's incredible, man.
This is crazy.
So,
Continue, please.
So, they opened their doors in 1948, and it was sometime shortly thereafter. It was believed up to 50 green monkeys made their escape.
What?
Yes.
Is it weird that I'm happy for the monkeys?
Ecstatic. You should be.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yes.
Because it is 100% ridiculous to take these monkeys,
Yep.
bring them to Florida.
Yep. And then
Of course they're going to get out. They don't want to be...
they don't want to be there.
They want to go back home. They want to go
Just
back to...
fucking teenage boys running the place. No one's keeping an eye on these monkeys.
No.
so Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind as to read to us what Peter Karsner told Missy as reported by the Miami New Times?
I will do my best. All right, quote, Karsner told Williams, people from the farm would talk about the escaped monkeys for years, and he always wondered what happened to them. What had happened to them? Williams says they likely ran into what was once sprawling agriculture land before being pushed into their current habitat over the decades. If you go back in time and look at the landscape, it was lots of farmland. Once they got out, they were pretty much in farmland. With development over the years, they've closed in on this preserved mangrove area. Williams says, I got
There
it.
you go.
Okay, so they escaped. They had all of this space to be monkeys, to live their best lives.
That's right.
But then, parking lot after parking lot,
There you go.
after power plant,
Oh,
after
you got it.
airport,
You got it.
they got squished into
That's exactly right.
tiny mangrove space.
That's right. Yeah, both the farmland and the chimp farm were short-lived. Remember in our mental map of the area north of the Park and Go and the mangrove area, you said it, the Florida Power and Light Facility?
Oh, yes.
Okay, in 1956, the company expanded, buying out the chimp farm and the surrounding area.
Did they know it was a chimp farm?
I don't think they cared.
I see. All right.
I don't think they cared.
Continue.
They were just like, we need to make more electricity. So they're like, here's a bunch of money. Get the hell out of here.
Never mind the beautiful animals that never wanted to be there,
Nope.
that were doing their best
What are you talking
with
about?
the farm.
Who cares? So,
Jeez.
also growing outwards was the Fort Lauderdale Airport and the highways, just like you mentioned, until eventually all that remained was that 1,500-acre forest where the green monkey descendants are today. And the smaller habitat is definitely having an effect on the existing colony.
No.
Yeah. Birth rates are declining as females are choosing to skip birthing seasons. And get this, it's becoming easier for people to set traps and catch the monkeys for the exotic animal trade.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Stop that. They have so little
Very
of
little.
whatever you're doing. Oh, God, I just know that someone's going to stuff them and send them to like sell them to like rich people who suck and just like
Yeah.
I had to say all that with my eyes closed because I'm just like
Yeah.
not okay. I'm not okay with monkey sound.
Yeah.
Talk about a sentence I didn't think I would have to say today. I'm not okay with it. I almost wish we could do the thing. In a different episode, we talked about transporting giraffes.
Yes. That was beautiful in-betweeny.
Beautiful in betweeny. Highly recommend. They did it with little rafts that were 100% designed for the giraffe safety. And I'm like, what are we going to do? Are we going to design a plane for these monkeys? How are we going to get them back to Senegal? How are we going to get them home?
Those are great thoughts. And I'm really glad you brought the idea of like keeping them safe and like what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Put a pin in it, hold it with both hands close to your heart.
Are we going to give them the airport?
Let's let them run free.
I feel like
That'd
they'd
be
have
amazing.
a lot of fun in the airport.
I think so, too.
Many snacks, so many things to
So many things to nap
flop
on.
around on. Yeah.
They would love it. Well, now, where are we? My notes.
I really
Okay.
took us off course.
Totally great. So Missy told the Miami New Times, quote, there's a chance the colony of about 40 vervets will become extinct within the next 50 to 100 years, according to data projections, end quote. Now, because the monkeys are an introduced species, they're not protected by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
What?
But Missy Williams is Missy fucking Williams.
Fuck yeah.
And she set up the Dania Beach Vervet Project.
Fuck yeah, Missy Williams.
That's right. Not only do the volunteers care for and protect the colony, the nonprofit is raising funds to buy the land the monkeys live on, to make it a legit sanctuary protected by sanctuary laws.
Prayer hands.
That's right.
Praise hands emoji. to Missy Williams protecting the sanctuary. Next up, building a plane specially made for the monkeys. Full of vegetation. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Missy Williams and be like, how are we gonna get these monkeys home?
I know. Okay. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay.
So if you're curious to see the work the volunteers are doing in real time and even donate, head on over to facebook.com/Dania Beach Vervets, and that's DANIA Beach Vervets, VERVETS. There's a ton of photos, videos, and updates. You get to see every monkey, learn their names and what their personality is like.
I love that.
I think I saw a photo of one monkey being reintroduced to their native troop. Yeah, I think. So I do think some of them are.
So this is a process that's happening.
It's a total process.
I believe you. Missy can do anything.
So there's also posts about fundraising and how local businesses who are so in love with these monkeys are matching donations.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and there's a couple of unfortunate posts like finding monkeys stuck in traps or passing away from living in an urban environment.
Yeah.
Because, this is real stuff, because this is real life. Anyway, please check it out. The Dania Beach Vervets. They've been there for 70 years, so let's try and make it beyond another 70. So,
let's do it, you guys.
that's the story of the Dania Beach fucking monkeys who are still there. The end, but also to be continued.
What?
It's a lot.
Oh my
She
god.
took off her glasses. She put them down.
I really liked this story. At the same time, I also hated many aspects of it.
Yeah.
What a fucking roller coaster we just went on. I'm so happy I know about these monkeys, though. And I will be logging onto Facebook for the first time in years.
I know.
So I can see them.
Yeah. I hated myself for having to log on to Facebook because I just don't do that. I haven't done that in fucking years. But
it's
worth
worth
us to see it. Yeah.
Maybe
So,
we can start them an Instagram account.
That would be very helpful. That'd be really cool.
That'd be really lovely.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Missy after
Okay.
this.
Amazing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for rating, supporting us.
Thank you
It
so
does-
much.
Yeah. And telling your friends, please tell your friends about the monkeys next to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, spread the word.
Tell them about it.
Yeah,
And please, stay interesting.
please do.